What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the commentary. Welcome Clint Oldenburg to my channel. He's been with EA Sports about 5 years now, constantly working on making Madden as good as he believes it can be. Now, Clint, one of the things that you've actually became, I guess, ingrained in Madden folklore for is some of the tweets. So you would actually, a while back, maybe 2 or 3 years, stated something, and I'll paraphrase here, that Living Worlds had kind of oversold us, that in maybe the concept of you weren't able to have what you wanted out of Living Worlds. But now we know EA Sports Madden has went to the Frostbite engine. Do you see that same problem occurring, or is Frostbite going to be able to deliver on all fronts?
There are some things in the Living World sphere. I don't even think we call it that anymore. We just call it presentation. But there are some things that are in this year's game that are new. We have new runouts onto the field for the teams. We have new stadium exteriors, fireworks shows. We even have sideline interactions where, let's say a player gets tackled and falls out of bounds, and the coach is standing right next to him. The coach will help him up, or sideline players will help him up, and there are some celebrations mixed in there, things like that. That's what we have committed to this year. In terms of moving forward, who knows what the possibilities are? Anything's possible. It's just a matter of what we decide we want to focus our time on and our effort. But that's where we're at this year.
Second to that, you had struck fear in a lot of people's hearts. You put up a tweet, and for that, for what it's worth, I'll say a lot of people, myself included at times, can read probably a bit too much into your tweets. You joked earlier today that somebody was reading the body language of you in a video interview that you did. But you had mentioned that you had to ninja in some sim features. And obviously, from a simulation community standpoint, we see the game's getting the Longshot story mode. We know that takes time, money, energy, resources, everything needed to generate a whole new, honestly, a movie into a video game. Can you talk about a little bit of the dynamic between what you meant when you said that, but how hard do you really have to push to try to get simulation features in the game? And do you think we're going to get to a point where you are going to see, even though we were talked about maybe with sliders this year or settings, just a totally different version of Madden dedicated strictly to simulation football?
Let's address that second question second, because I'll forget it, because I want to address your first question first. So when I said I was ninjaing in a feature, it's not necessarily related to sim or Longshot or mud or whatever the mode is. That's any feature that basically somebody like myself, a product owner, designer, feels like we need to get in the game, but we don't have time to go through the regular process. So with any feature that we want to build here, there's a specific process that we're supposed to go through, meaning you have to go through the development director to make sure that we have enough resources to get it done on plan and within budget. Budget meaning hours. So engineers have a specific set of hours that they're scheduled to work every week, and they have a schedule that they follow based on priorities, right? And that's set up in the production cycle, which is pre-alpha, when we start building everything. And so we schedule out the entire year, and yes, that changes over time, but basically everything that we want to do has to go in what we call a backlog, or for better word, a schedule. And so when I say I'm ninja-ing in a feature, that means that I literally just walk up to the engineer's desk and say, I need this. I'm not going through the process. Do you think we can get it done? And he'll tell me either yes or no. And if he says, yeah, I think I can knock that out, you're going to have to do the testing for it, so on and so forth, then we'll go ahead and do that and run that risk. But it's not a great practice to do commonly, because it has to be extremely safe for a feature. It's got to be something that's not going to break anything else, and it's got to be something that you're confident is going to improve the game without breaking anything else, if that makes sense.
Could you give me an example then of a feature that you got in and a feature you didn't get in that way?
Actually, that's exactly how ID the Mic went in. I was supposed to submit a change request, is what it's called. A change request is when you're making a change to the schedule that's going to modify an engineer's hours. So I, chatted with Rex and said, I'm going to go for this. I think it's a pretty, nice feature. I think everyone's going to like it. I think we need it. And if we're going to build it, we got to build it now. I can't wait to go through the process. And that's how we built ID the Mic. In terms of something that didn't get in like that, I don't know. And I don't have anything right off the top of my head. I don't do it often. but it is something that, like I said, it's kind of frowned upon. But as long as the payoff is worth it, then you just kind of let it slide.